been previously recorded.
Today we present a special Best of Money Chat Now with Larry Steinhaus. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show because it's time for the Best of Money Chat Now with your host, Larry Steinhaus.
Good morning, I'm Larry Steinhaus, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged stock market pre-show giving you the politics behind the biggest moves in the stock market. It is presented with comedic common sense by an expert in financial literacy, and hey, that's me, Larry Steinhaus. All right, I think that's Mike saying hi. I appreciate it, man. Thanks so much. I see you on Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. And of course, you can comment live during the show on YouTube and LinkedIn and Twitter. And please say hi once again. We got Mick saying hi and we got Lewis saying hi. Thanks so much. I totally appreciate you guys. Hey, you can also attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com, and there you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. Hey, I want to say hello to Bill out there, and I think I said hello to Wendy already, and Ken and Jose. Thanks, guys. I totally appreciate you. I see Jose is watching on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. I totally appreciate it. All right, let's talk about Biden and Russia. Once again, President Poopy Pants was discussing the Russia-Ukraine situation, and this weak excuse for a president can't stop saying dumb stuff. Like, it would be the largest invasion since World War II, said President Braindead. I mean, really, why would he say stuff like that? It's just so unnecessary. And then he continues and says, it would change the world if the tens of thousands of Russian troops who have been amassing the Russian-Ukraine border were to launch an incursion into Ukraine territory. These are the kind of statements that remind me of the ridiculous predictions of COVID. Hey, President Braindead, you really are dumb. I hate to tell you this, but Russia is already halfway into their invasion. Do you actually think the leaders of Ukraine and Putin haven't been talking? This won't be a hostile takeover. It'll be a quick siege or even an agreement that Russia and Ukraine will work out together. Ukraine has no choice because you refuse to help them anyway. And Russia is laughing all the way to the border. They're going, hey, we got President Braindead. We used to have Trump. We worried about him, but Braindead, he ain't going to do a thing. Biden has repeatedly pledged to not send American or NATO troops into Ukraine, but he recently directed the Pentagon to ready, not send, but ready 8,500 U.S. soldiers for potential deployments to the NATO-allied countries in Eastern Europe. Seriously, he's sending troops not to Ukraine and thinks this is going to scare Putin into not invading Ukraine? I mean, I don't even understand why Putin didn't just say, let's just go into Ukraine and make a fool out of everybody. I swear, it's like watching a Bugs Bunny cartoon with Biden playing the part of Elmer Fudd. Shh, be very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits. Speaking of famous hunter, does an invasion of Ukraine by Russia mean that Hunter Biden will be now out of a job? By the way, Biden also said this when asked whether the odds of an invasion had increased or decreased in recent days. Biden said it was difficult to predict it was difficult to predict Putin's next move. It's a little bit like reading tea leaves, said brain-dead Biden. Really, that's what he said. It's a little bit like reading tea leaves. Ordinarily, he continued, with a different leader, the fact that he continues to build forces along Ukraine's border from Belarus all the way around, you'd say, well, that looks like he's going to do something. Yeah, I read that just the way it was dictated. Unbelievable. Besides the beginning being completely incomprehensible, the last sentence really made me laugh, so I'll repeat it. Well, it looks like he's going to do something. Duh? Really? Did the tea leaves tell you that, Biden? By the way, Biden was in a local store. God, you can't make this stuff up. Biden was in a local store when he was discussing this with reporters and continued to say there will be enormous consequences if Putin, of course, were to go in and invade the entire country, or a lot less than that as well. All right, For Russia, he goes on, for Russia, not only in terms of economic consequences, but political consequences, but enormous consequences worldwide. They're going to yell at him, he said. Now, remember, he was in this shop when he's doing this, so he said all this while he was buying a sweatshirt, a necklace, and I can't believe it, a mug with the face of Kamala Harris on it. Yes, I said that correctly. He was buying a mug with a picture of Kamala Harris on it. Anyway, strategically, Ukraine is a good move for Russia, and it makes the neighboring countries like Poland, Hungary, and Romania nervous if Russia owns Ukraine. And I'm going to tell you right now, because these are NATO-allied countries, the United States and the other allies will defend the other countries if necessary. And I mean, seriously, do you really think that Russia's going to go to war with these countries? No, they just want Ukraine. And I got to tell you, I don't believe that this is something we really need to worry about in the near future. I'm going to say within 3 weeks, Ukraine is going to belong to Russia, and Ukraine will be fine with it. Nothing is going to happen here. Hey, I want to say hello to Carrie. Thanks for watching, Carrie. And I want to say hello to Charles. Hey, I want to thank you all for listening on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia. I heard now there's 8 people listening to the show. There used to be 7, so thank you all on WWDB Radio. Thanks to all 8 of you for listening. Hey, if you're watching online, please hit that share button so you can help your friends learn about how to make more money. Hit that like button and let me know you're enjoying the show. You can also leave comments on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube, and of course, I'll try to respond to them. Hey, I want to say hello to Joe and Tommy and Carrie. Thanks for everybody over there. Joe says no fries for you because he knows I'm on a diet. I got to lose 40 pounds. Hey, I have a new listener or a new viewer, I guess. Harold, say hey, Harold. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. All right, let's talk about more electric cars. So it seems that every car company is jumping on the bandwagon to manufacture electric cars. Look, most are also saying that they will no longer make internal combustion engines at all, leaving all the cars electric in the future. Look, Tesla is the obvious leader in this, but we have seen Ford, Volkswagen, Hyundai, Dodge, and GM make a push for all electric cars by the end of the decade. Now, Bentley, one of the high-line luxury car brand, is also making a pledge to go all electric. Look, they have actually made a $2.5 billion investment in the electric car arena and also plan to have all their cars electric by 2030. I don't know. Have you noticed that there are more Bentleys on the road lately? Every once in a while I see that symbol. Sometimes it looks like the Hyundai Genesis symbol, but most of the time it's the Bentley symbol. You notice that there's more on the road lately? Like many of the luxury brands, the brand realized that they can use the leverage of what used to be an exclusive club of people owning cars like Bentley and Maserati and make them more affordable for mainstream buyers, and it worked. As I ponder, by the way, the electric car movement, I think about how many people actually fill up their tanks every day on their way to work. Now, I do realize that most will charge their car overnight, and most will have a full charge in the morning, and they'll be able to get to their local location or work. But seriously, what about the people who drive many miles to get to work, or even more, the people who drive to travel destination? Now, I'm sure you've noticed more and more charging stations being built, but still, if you think about a motel that has maybe 50 rooms, if all the occupants had an electric car, they would need to have 50 charging stations, right? So are they going to be able to put an electric charging station in every parking spot? Even if the plan is yes, who's going to pay to install them? Now, I do realize that brain-dead Biden wants to install many of the chargers with his new infrastructure bill, and I like the idea. But has anybody thought about how long that's going to take and how expensive it's going to be? And what about the obvious decline in the economy that's coming? Won't this make it harder to install charging stations in the near or mid-future? Look, like I said, I'm a future-thinking person, and I love the idea of electric cars. But until the problems of charging them and keeping them chargers solved, I'm going to keep my internal combustion engine for a while. Look, I've said this before. I also suggest that you have at least one older car. I don't care where you put it on the grass. It doesn't even matter. That still uses gasoline just in case. Look, we have been seeing power grid attacks. We've been seeing all kinds of attacks on the grid. And look, what a great way to destroy the economy by taking down the power grid, even if it's just for a few weeks. On the other hand, Mother Nature is also a problem and can take down the power grid in several areas for a day at a time. My next car is actually probably going to be a normal gas-powered car, but I suspect that, probably in about 2 years, I probably will make the move to electric. By the way, do you have an electric car right now? Let me know if you have an electric car. Let me know what you think of it, and let me know what you have. And we're going to be back in just a few seconds.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhaus, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
Welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhaus. And of course, if you'd like more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. All right, let's talk about the WHO and boosters. Apparently, the World Health Organization is no longer getting its marching orders from big pharma or greedy politicians. And it was made evident by their latest announcement about boosters. You ready for this? There's no evidence right now that suggests healthy children and adolescents need booster shots to supplement their COVID-19 vaccinations. This was said by the World Health Organization chief scientist, Dr. Swaminathan, whatever her name is anyway. All right, she said this yesterday. The WHO is also trying to use the efforts to get the most vulnerable vaccinated and not worry about the people who were never at risk in the first place. Ugh. It was scary, of course, about 2 years ago when we had no idea what was happening or how serious a virus called COVID-19 was going to be. At the time, of course, elderly and people with severe health issues were getting sick and dying. Well, as we the people quickly realized, it was mostly unhealthy elderly or obese people who were dying from this illness. And instead of treating or vaccinating the vulnerable people, the world decided to punish everyone by locking us down and forcing vaccines in our bodies. Well, now, as we're ending the second phase of COVID, the scamdemic, we're realizing that many of the vulnerable aren't getting the vaccine because it isn't available to them. Of course, there are those who don't want it. However, for those who do want it, they can't get it because of their geography. Well, the WHO wants to concentrate more on these people getting a first dose over someone else who is just looking for a booster. And, that actually is common sense. I don't necessarily agree with the vaccine or agree that it actually works, but if people do think it works and it needs to be used, yes, get it to the people who need it more, not the people like you, not me, but you listening, who's been vaccinated and is probably perfectly healthy and doesn't need a booster. The other problem the WHO is dealing with is the question of how many boosters will be enough. I love how they go from boosters aren't necessary to how many boosters will be enough. I'm sure you've heard the rumors of the 4th shot and jokes about the 10th shot. Of course, the real problem isn't how many shots, it's are the shots actually working? Last week, I went over a long list of liberal politicians who have had both doses and boosters and still got COVID. Hey, WHO, keep my shot and keep the shots of my fellow patriots like you guys listening and give them to people who need them in other countries. Remember when your mother used to say, hey, there are people in India who are starving because you didn't eat your food, right? Now, and it used to say, hey, send my food to them. Hey, WHO, send my shots to other countries who need them. I don't need it. And let's talk about Exxon being woke. Exxon being woke. That was actually the title of the article until they changed it. Exxon is woke. All right. Sometimes when I read articles and report on them, I just giggle at the hypocrisy of the topic and the seriousness in which the author wrote the article. Apparently, Exxon is woke. You know, woke. That stupid term that liberals use to describe how they're going to change the world by holding up signs and making pledges that are either not followed through or so ridiculous that they can't be followed through. Well, Exxon has decided to do something that actually made me laugh. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all for their idea and their pledge, but the concept just makes me laugh. They're actually pledging, get ready, they're actually pledging to do this. Net zero carbon emissions from operations by 2050. Now understand that this pledge is about cutting the emissions from the gas and chemical production facilities. I don't know, did that make you chuckle? This company is producing gas and chemicals that apparently harm the atmosphere, but they're going to cut their emissions to produce the emission from the emission producing products, and they get proud of it. Seriously? All right, you guys ready for this? It's like a white woman living in an all-white neighborhood with no black friends, never shopped in a black-owned business, but sticks a sign in her lawn that says Black Lives Matter. I'm going to take a break, and we'll see you guys in a minute. Hey, Dan, thanks for watching.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhaus, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhaus. And of course, if you'd like more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or you can call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. Hey, I want to thank all those people listening on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia. And if you're watching online, please hit that share button. Dan, did you share it yet? Come on, Mick, did you share this yet? Share this. I can see when you're sharing it, so don't lie to me. All right, hit that share button so you can help your friends learn about how to make more money. Hit that like button. Let me know you're enjoying the show. And, of course, leave comments on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube, and I will try to respond to them. So Dan says, this is on fire. Finally, someone who speaks the truth. Best show every morning. Let's talk about the UK. Last week, I ripped into Boris Johnson and talked about how big of a Johnson he was for attending parties while his subjects were all at home being locked up in confinement. I mean, locked down, as not to sneeze on anyone. But this week, the big Johnson actually grew some balls. I'm shocked to read the news that the big Johnson is lifting all COVID restrictions in the UK. Yes, I know you thought you weren't sure if I said that, but I'm telling you, the big Johnson is lifting all COVID restrictions in the UK, and I know you thought you heard it wrong, but you did it. Even as I say it, I can't believe the words myself. The big Johnson, with his new set of balls, went on national TV and said he would no longer mandate masks, no longer ask for vaccine passports, and told people to go back to work. Do I need to repeat that? Because I don't even believe I just said it. He even said that masks for children would no longer be needed in schools or public transportation. The Prime Minister also said the government will be ending the legal requirement for people who test positive for COVID to self-isolate and replace it with advice and guidance. I'm so confused here. This guy is one of those leaders who got off on the power of controlling his people, and now it's over? Just like that? Oh, I know what happened. He was being so badly criticized in the news for being a Big Johnson when he attended the parties while the rest of the UK was locked down that he needed to be a hero. And it's working. Hey, brain dead Biden, it's your turn to try this. In fact, if you end the mandatory garbage by the end of this month, I promise I'll even vote for you. Yes, really, President Poopy Pants, if you end the mandate and let America be free again, like the Constitution says, by the end of the month, I will actually vote for you. I promise. I promise I will. Don't worry, folks. Brain dead Biden already had my vote through massive voter fraud anyway, so it really didn't matter. I just thought maybe if he was listening, we might have a president who might grow some balls like the Big Johnson did. All right. Hey, Jane, I want to thank you for watching, and it's time to take a commercial, and we will see you in a couple of minutes.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhaus, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
Welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhaus. And of course, if you'd like more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or you can call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. Hey, I want to thank everybody for listening on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia. And if you're watching online, please hit that share button so you can help your friends learn how to make more money and give them a good laugh, right? Hit that like button, let me know you enjoyed the show, and you can also leave comments on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube, and I will even try to respond to them. Hey, Kevin, I want to thank you for watching. Thanks so much. I totally appreciate it. And if you're watching right now, please say hi so I know you are. Anyway, let's go on to talking about COVID testing kits. So the testing kits that President Poopy Pants has promised all of us are ready to go. Hey, by the way, did you order yours yet? I did. I ordered them on Tuesday just for fun. Here's the interesting part. When you order them, you're ordering them actually from the UPS, from the United States Post Office, not from a government website. The link for the kits, and I suggest you order them for fun, and I'll explain why in a few minutes, the link for the test is actually covidtest.gov. When you click the Order Kits link, it redirects you to the United States Post Office website and then allows you to fill out the order form. They then check your address for accuracy. By the way, I originally put in my office address, and a pop-up said this is a business address, so it's not eligible to receive the test. I quickly changed it to my home address and clicked place order, and the thank you page, I love this, the thank you page explained that I will get 4 at-home tests, and they will be sent by the end of the month. By the end of the month. By the end of the month, really? So so what if I have COVID now? Am I SOL? Seriously, shipped by the end of the month. I wonder if the brain-dead Biden administration even thinks about the stupidity of the program they actually set up. So why did I order the test, by the way? I want to make a Facebook video of me testing non-human things and see if they test positive for COVID. My dog Oliver, he's not looking forward to me getting the test kits and is already practicing growling at the mailman. By the way, do you remember when I told you a little earlier that the website flagged my business address as a business address and would not ship it? Well, guess what happened to many people living in apartment buildings or apartment above stores or anywhere that is not a normal residential house address? In fact, many went on social media and complained about the very thing. They can't order the tests. I wonder actually if the White House can order them. Oh wait, they don't need them there. They're probably making them there. Hey, think about that visual. Hey, like the North Pole. You ever think about the North Pole when all the elves are working for Santa Claus and they're all happily singing as they make toys for good boys and girls? But at the White House, you probably have the illegal immigrants that were transported from the border drinking Corona and singing "Let's Go Brandon" while they make masks and test kits for $3 an hour. Of course, they also get to stay in this country by working for the $3 an hour, and as long as they promise, and they'll actually get free health insurance as long as they promise to agree to vote Democrat in the name of a dead person. So first of all, let's talk about Americans being in debt. Hey, do you remember 2008? You know, that time where it all came crashing down? The stock market, housing prices, jobs, and the economy just went poof. Well, I remember reports of people being in high amount of debts just about 2 years before that. Here's another indicator that the cycle is about to swing the other way, and once again, it's going to be a problem. Well, we already know that inflation is killing the average person's budget, but the reason it didn't concern so many people at first was because of mortgage and rent moratoriums and, of course, stimulus money. So people who live day to day without any thought of the future took advantage of the moratoriums, even if they didn't need to, but that was such a big mistake if they didn't need to. So what did they do with the extra money? They spent it. But that's not all. They also got themselves into more and more debt because they figured, hey, we can now afford that $750 a month car payment, and bought the car that they really couldn't afford. They did the same thing with electronics. They did the same thing with furniture and other consumables, and that put the average household debt to about, check this out, $155,622. Yes, $155,622. It's amazing to me that the average debt is $155,662. And this does not include housing or student loans. When I read that number, I'm telling you, I just couldn't believe how high it was. I was expecting 50, maybe 75,000, but wow, over $150,000 in debt for the average American. Many people ask me when the economy is going to shift. Well, folks, I got to tell you, it's already happening, only you're not seeing it yet. I'm going to be here telling you more about that as it happens day after day, but now is the time to learn to take advantage of it when it does. Look, you heard the commercial for Investor Schooling. Go there and learn before it's too late. And of course, as you guys know, from time to time, I own some of the assets and stock options discussed in this show, and no one has asked me to make my opinion on the topics I discuss. And they're solely mine. All right. Imagine some people have asked me not to. I want you guys to have a profitable day. See you tomorrow.